touchant ici chez toi.
Ça se passe mal ou quoi?
Ça se passe toujours mal chez toi.
T'habites où? En Charleroi. Mais en famille, en coloc?
Non, en famille. J'ai fait une coloc ce jour.
C'est dur, hein? C'était tombé sur une mauvaise.
Mais en coloc, on en remplace.
Je cherche quelqu'un en coloc.
C'est vrai? Oh putain, la coloc de 10.
Je peux chercher un appart de 2 chambres pour faire une coloc déjà. Mais bon, ce sera plus dans la région Louvain-la-Neuve.
Toujours la neuve. Voilà.
Parce que moi j'aime boire.
C'est la tâche. C'est le faire un
Oh, ça va être pas problème.
Lumière, c'est top.
C'est un peu à quelque chose.
Ah, dis-moi.
Faire une photo de notre super situation.
Ah oui, c'est pas mal.
On essaie même de faire un peu. Voilà.
Oui, c'est pas mal.
Il faut trouver les bons noms. Ouais, je crois que c'est le meilleur.
Merci.
Ça va nous faire un plan sur nous deux après le coup. Je ne vais pas penser, ça va me faire à la trace.
En fait, on respire les militaires, je respire.
Du coup, il faut poser surtout.
Eh non, il n'est pas.
Heureusement, c'est 15 minutes.
Donc j'ai eu la note.
Donc,
Tu avais fait le point sur le genre.
je n'ai pas touché. Mais, pays beau. Ouais, voilà. Attention.
Enfin, déjà, tu peux un peu gagner.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this press conference to conclude the Informal Fisheries Council with Flemish Minister responsible for fisheries, Hilde Krevits, and European Commissioner for the Environment, Oceans and Fisheries, Virginijus Sinkevicius. They will both make a statement first, and then we'll have some time for questions. Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome also to Bruges for those who don't know Bruges. We just had an exciting morning session with fellow fishery ministers and our commissioner, the chair also of PECH, and the committee, that's the PECH committee of the European Parliament, Mr. Carleskind, and the representatives of the fisheries and the aquacultural sectors. This informal council is all about the future of our European fisheries and aquaculture policy. We have now reached an important point where we can look back on the policies of the 5 past years. To use the jargon of the profession, we can analyze the sometimes choppy waters in which the industry operates today, chart a new course, and thus decide our future navigation together. Our meeting this morning kicked off with a welcome from our Belgian Flemish fishers who sent in a video message for the European ministers. Fishers who put their heart and soul into their jobs and want to continue doing so. They expect from us to provide answers to the concerns they raised. As we hold the presidency, we feel it is important that the Informal Council offers a moment of reflection for considering with an open and critical mind which additional European actions are needed in the short term to achieve our goal of ensuring a sustainable future with a healthy marine ecosystem and economically viable livelihoods. Today, we considered the various ways to remove legal, financial and other barriers so that our fisheries and aquaculture sector can meet the current challenges. We also asked specifically which actions at the European level are on the table for the next Commission, and we discussed how colleagues view innovation and digitalization. We would like to find out more about the opportunities in terms of data collection and processing and using big data to strengthen the environmental, economic and social sustainability of the fisheries and aquaculture sector. From these debates, I particularly remember the following 3 things. First of all, the Member States called for a strong joint ambition to evolve to an attractive, profitable and resilient EU fisheries and aquaculture sector. When we do so, the diversity of the European fleet is to be put central. A one-size-fits-all approach is not the ideal approach. Secondly, with regard to the question on which legal, financial or other aspects need to be addressed to cope with internal and external pressures, the Member States spoke about adequate financial support. A lot of Member States called for amending the EU legal framework on state aid law for the energetic modernization of the fleet. That's very, very important. Address the financial challenges surrounding aquaculture with respect for the environment and at equal level playing field. The connection with other policy priorities such as renewable energy at sea. Numerous Member States saw the multi-use of marine space as a major challenge. And lastly, digitalization, the use of artificial intelligence and other innovations are warmly welcomed by member states if they can help fishers and aquaculture farmers with decreasing administrative tasks and make it possible to gather more accurate data on fish stocks and the marine ecosystem. Clearly, there is much work to be done if we are to equip our fisheries and aquaculture sector to meet challenges of today and tomorrow. However, today has clearly shown that there is a great willingness among member states to move quickly and firmly on this. And during our discussions, it was raining, but now the sun is here, so it was a very fruitful morning. Thank you. I pass now the floor to our Commissioner Vigenius.
Thank you and good afternoon. And first of all, let me start by thanking Hilde, her team, Belgian presidency for organizing this informal Agri-Fish Council, and the ministers, of course, for their presence today in the historic city of Bruges. But also I would like to praise that we started the meeting with fishers who spoke openly about how they feel, how they see their future. I think this is a great moment that needs to be kept for the future as well. Challenging moments, less challenging, I think it's important to start with the stakeholders and their statements. As you also know, my role as a commissioner is coming to an end. And I want to give my successor the best possible ground to start from. So therefore, I have asked my services to undertake a full evaluation of our common fisheries policy regulation. I believe that this will provide my successor with a solid basis to make the best informed decisions for the future of our fisheries and aquaculture sectors. Looking back into this mandate, that was a difficult mandate, a mandate that none of us could have expected. I think still we've managed to move forward. We can be proud of what we have achieved in the past 5 years. We have improved overall sustainability levels of fish stocks in all our sea basins. We have adopted a revised EU fisheries control systems, and once it's fully implemented, our new modernized and digitalized controls will ensure traceability of all fisheries products from net to table. And this will help level up competitiveness of our fishers, both internally and externally, as it will boost our ability to prevent third country products coming from illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing entering our market. As I said, it was difficult years. We first of all started with Brexit, and of course we had to adapt to the new post-Brexit reality, where most of the fish stocks in the Northeast Atlantic are now jointly managed with third countries. Then the pandemic. After that, the energy crisis and Russia's war of aggression hit our sector. I'm proud that we have provided swift support so that no one was left behind. In all cases, the Commission and the EU have been to adapt and to deliver. But nothing would have been possible without the efforts of our fishers and our aquaculture farmers. And I would like to have a special mention for them today. None of the sustainability improvements would have been possible without their efforts. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank them and I want to thank their families for what they have achieved in these 5 years. During the last 5 years, fishers have faced multiple challenges of different nature. Their resilience and adaptability have been commendable. But many challenges still lay ahead. The fisheries and aquaculture sector can only thrive if the profession is attractive enough, and most importantly, if people can make a living out of it. So to secure the prosperity of the sector, we need to ensure 3 things. First, we will need to ensure there is a generational renewal. Second, we need to make sure competition across the sector is fair, both among fishers in the EU and between EU fishers and, of course, fishers in third countries. Finally, we need to continue managing fish stock sustainably. If there is no fish, unfortunately, there is no future for the sector. the Common Fisheries Policy and our Structural Fund, the European Maritime Fisheries and Aquaculture Fund provide a strong basis to tackle these challenges. I also want to mention the EU-wide project we launched recently, Fishers of the Future. The purpose of this project is to investigate fishers' hopes, fears, expectations, and needs together with stakeholders, have an open and frank conversation about their future. We want to understand how the profession is likely to evolve by 2050. We now have more tools in place to face environmental challenges internationally through the historic agreement of the High Seas Treaty, seeking to protect biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, and at home through our recently adopted legislation. However, for effectively tackling any future challenges, we need to focus on research and innovation. We will need to use artificial intelligence to improve our fisheries management models, but also tracking ecosystem challenges accurately. Research and innovation are also key in fostering the energy transition of the fisheries and aquaculture sectors, which will boost the sector's resilience to volatile energy prices. We need to develop cleaner, more efficient fishing vessels with innovative fishing techniques. So I truly hope that when we look 5, 10 years back or 15 from now, all the work that we have done, myself, my team, DG Mare, colleagues ministers, during this mandate, we will be sure that it has paid off and we have a resilient fisheries sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister and Commissioner. We have some time for questions. And if there are no questions, then I'd like to thank the Minister and the Commissioner for the time and you for your presence. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was quick and short. Gracias.